I think I learned this trick because I saw a blogger doing it, and I was like, that's pretty cool. There we go. Hey everybody, it is Devon from Maniology, and I'm so excited to do this little fun Halloween tutorial with you guys. I know a lot of you have been creating amazing Halloween nail art. We wish we could feature all of you. Halloween is Maniology's favorite time of the year. My coworkers and I, we love seeing all the cool Halloween designs that you guys make. It's so awesome. We wish this season lasts so much longer so that way we could feature all of your amazing designs. That's part of the reason why we actually started sending out our Halloween subscription boxes a bit earlier, because we know how much you guys love the Halloween season, and we wanted to make sure that everyone could, enjoy it a bit longer. Yay! Okay, so today we're going to be using plate M071, and I'm going to be using our smudge-free top coat. And then I'm also going to be using colors Monarch Dream, Clarissa Blue, and Rose Quartz. So you don't actually need to use these particular colors. You can use whatever colors you want. Those are the colors that I'm going to be using today. The other colors that I'm going to be using is straight up black and Bam White. Sorry, I don't have my full. So this is the Bam White, and then you guys know what black looks like. So I'm just gonna skip that part. So before we get started, I'm gonna wipe my plate off because I have cuticle oil on and it kind of is making my plate a little bit oily. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this away. I will also be using my favorite stamper and scraper set, which is right here. Okay, so I painted a white base already because I didn't want you to have to wait for the white base to dry. You could sponge the base on. It doesn't matter if the base is even or not. The application here is a little sloppy, but that really doesn't matter because we're going to cover it up anyways. I'm going to use a white base today because I found that it is more effective when you're doing gradients or like ombres, which we're about to do. Use a makeup sponge if you have one. I like using the flat side. And then we are going to apply, we're going to apply these two colors. So, on your sponge, just go ahead and randomly apply polish to the sponge. So, I am not going to apply my purple right now, and I will explain why in a little bit. Sometimes I notice if I do 3 color gradients or like 3 color ombres, the colors can get really mushy and not attractive. So I want them to be nicely blended, so I'm just going to do, oh, whoops, hello. Hold on. My tacky is coming off. Okay, I'm just gonna try it with another nail tip. Okay. Whoops. So you're gonna go ahead and apply more. So part of the reason why I'm doing it this way is because when you are using a sponge, the sponge absorbs a lot of the polish, so it makes it seem like the polish is very sheer and opaque. Very sheer, because it sucks up most of the lacquer. there better. And see, we want a nice little soft fade like this. Because the polish absorbs so much of the lacquer, or word vomit today, guys, sorry. Because the sponge absorbs so much of the lacquer, it'll make it seem very sheer. That's why I recommend having a white base underneath, because the application is a little bit thinner. Well, a lot thinner, because so much of the polish is being absorbed. So you can see I put a lot of polish on here and it like got absorbed by the sponge. The reason I will be doing the purple after is because I feel like the purple is a stronger color. And if I apply all three colors now, it kind of just blends, but it overblends, and then you don't even see like the pink as much because it gets too blended. Aw, thank you, Des. Words are hard sometimes, especially with a camera and doing nails at the same time. It gets crazy. So you're just going to go ahead and sponge that on. So you can see I'm not pressing very hard. Then we're going to go back to our first tip. Hopefully that. Oh. Okay, there we go. Kind of got all weird, but it'll be all right. Just cover it up with polish. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and apply one more coat. Especially of the pink. The pink is so soft that I think I'm just going to go ahead and sponge this on without even applying blue, because I really want to make sure I get that pink in there. You can see the blue is still very visible. So now I am going to go ahead and apply more pink. A little blue. And this, and I'm just going to kind of dab on. And then now we're going to use your purple. So again, you do not have to use the same colors I am using, but I felt like this would be really cute together. There we go. So now let's go ahead and touch that up. You see how strong the purple is? It's a little bit darker than, it's not exactly in the same hue as the pink and the blue. It's a little bit of a darker hue. So I think that's part of the reason why it's better to sponge that on a little later. So if you're working with like one color that's really dark, you might want to just apply your lighter colors first. Apply your lighter colors first before you go ahead and apply your dark color, because we just kind of want it to have a soft effect. We don't want it to be overpowering. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more, just kind of randomly. I think I learned this trick because I saw a blogger doing it, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And that makes a lot more sense because I noticed that I would always end up running into the same issue. So my flat sponge is making it kind of difficult to get a smooth effect. You can see here that there's like some weird lines from the purple. I'm gonna just rip this off, and you could always save this for later and use this side once the polish dries. So don't throw your sponge away, just keep it, and then for another manicure you can always use that sponge, the back side of that sponge. Wanted to go ahead and apply some more blue to some spots there and kind of fade it out a little bit more. I think my sponge is already dry. Yes, exactly what Danielle said. Pink and blue make purple, so sometimes it can muddy the effect. And since I want to feature the purple, pink, and blue, that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this like different type of layering for the gradient base or the ombre base. I don't know, what do we call this? Is it considered an ombre or is it considered a gradient? I feel like gradient is when the colors literally fade from one to the other. I feel like this is more like a ombre kind of. Looks like we're good so far. Okay, so now that our tips are pretty dry, since these are all very thin layers, you don't really have to worry too much. We're just gonna go right ahead and get into the stamping. Let's start with this one. Gonna put these other ones on the side. Wipe my plate again because I got fingerprints all over the place. And I'm using 100% acetone. I'm going to grab this design, which is a big, what is it called? Monocle? Is that? No, that's not what it's called. Someone help me, please. This thing. This thing, what is it? Oracle. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. Anyways, this piece. And I'm gonna just grab my straight up black. Oops. Apply a nice healthy amount. Okay. I'm gonna remove all this junk on the sides, move quickly. And then, let's see if I can do this. Okay. Oop. Yay. Okay. Planchet. Yes. That is what it's called, Barbara. Thank you. It is called a planchet. So you're going to stamp your planchet, and we just need to do the tip part. And then you're going to move on to your next design. Just going to make sure the tip is on nice and firm. Then we are going to do this design, which is several planchets. Yeah. As you can see, I am scraping super hard. Because these designs are finer, I want to make sure that when I scrape, Lovely. That when I scrape, the polish can really get into those fine lines. If you scrape too lightly, you're going to have a really hard time picking up the designs because this has a lot of detail work. So you should be scraping really hard, and you should hear that sound that my scraper is making. When you are scraping it, that's how you know you have scraped it properly. So this is kind of like a kawaii Halloween design. There was this image that I saw on the internet a long time ago, and it was like a pastel Ouija set, and I thought it was so cute, and it was using blue, pink, and purple colors, and then black. And I really, really liked that. That was part of the inspiration of this plate. And then there was this, I don't know if you guys know who Riley, I think her name is starts with a Ryan? Riley? I forget. There's this makeup blogger who basically does a bunch of lip art and nail art, and then she created a matching nail art and lip set, like an image. It's not a product available for sale. That was inspired by that same image, and it was so awesome. I fell in love with it. And so that's the other inspo for today. So go ahead. Okay. So take the other stars and just kind of stamp the excess over. Oh, this is a little too dry. If you have sticky base coat, I do, you can go ahead and apply a little. So I'm just going to apply it to the area that I need the stars to stick to. In the meantime, for this design, I want to cap it with smudge free. Okay. So I'm gonna apply the top coat and let that dry for a second, and I'll show you guys why in a bit. This is tacky enough now. So for the remaining stars that I have on my stamper, I'm just gonna go ahead and add them in. There we go. Whoops. And then for our last nail, we're gonna do the yes design. I think it's gonna be easier if I scrape it upside down. Make sure you clean your stamper between each design so that way you don't end up scraping and then being like, oh crap, I forgot to take off the polish. Now I have to scrape and clean off the plate and redo that whole thing. It's so annoying. Okay, there we go. Now, let me grab these stars. So if your plate gets foggy like this, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with your plate. It'll be okay. You can still use it. It's just the film, like the film that's left behind, or like the residue that's left behind on the plate. Okay, so in order to make this work, we're going to stamp around. Then I think we're going to still need a few more stars, so I'm going to go back and pick up a few more over here. I don't want that half star. If you're gonna do this, I recommend making sure that your AC is off. There we go. Perfect. So, now, let me move all of this stuff and show you guys. So, this is up to you how you want to arrange it. It could be this way, or it could be this way. But before we continue, I'm going to top it off with a matte top coat, especially for this one. Let me do smudge free on everything first. So obviously these are not perfectly lined up, but I'm sure when you guys are doing this at home alone, you'll have better luck than me with the camera and phone in my the camera and lamp in my face. Then apply your favorite top coat, or your favorite matte top coat. Whoa. Maybe don't apply that much though. We're gonna go ahead and apply matte top coat to the other nails as well. And this is our quick Halloween manicure. So I don't have a clock near me, but if I wasn't talking, I feel like we could have done this manicure in about 15 minutes, if that. So it can be really, really fast in case you guys are looking for a fun, easy Halloween idea. And then, like I said, you can always switch up the arrangement. It could be like this if you want. Up to you. Okay, thank you so much again for joining me for the live. If you do recreate any of these art or any of the art that you see on any of our lives or on our page, please make sure you mention and hashtag us. We love seeing what you create, especially if you are recreating one of our works. It's so refreshing. You guys do such awesome work. and I hope everyone has an amazing week. Talk to you guys later. Bye.